Mexico City when he was almost killed, and the brother of the emperor that he had taken captive in his own palace had left and organized the resistance against him, and they had to leave what was called Mexico City at that time. I forget the name of the place. It was built on a lake with causeways and things, and his soldiers had to fight their way out. He finally fought his way out with tremendous losses of the band of about 250 men he had. He only had a very small number of unwounded men left. Went to this Native American tribe that was an enemy of the Aztecs and said, "Oh, what can we do to help you?" They said, "Well, we want to kill this opposite tribe." He said, "Okay, let's lead an attack. We'll kill all those people." So he and that tribe went and killed all of those people, and made themselves big heroes to the people who were opposing the others. So what I'm trying to say is that the story is never so clear cut. It isn't all, there's plenty of guilt, but it isn't always one-sided. The Native Americans were fighting among themselves. That doesn't mean Cortez was right, or the Americans were right to take advantage of that. You know, when Custer went out to the battlefield, he had Indian scouts with him. And even to today, there are Indian tribes that don't like the other Indian tribes. Like, for instance, how many have ever heard of the Crows? Not the Crows that fly around Orange County and Long Beach and South LA. The Crow tribes, how many have heard of the Crows? Well, it's tough to talk about Crows, we've never heard of them. How many have heard of Snoop Doggy Dogg? You see, this is our problem. This is our problem in the university now. I mean, we might as well be teaching a class on Snoop Doggy Dogg, right? I mean, that's what people know about it. And they don't have heard. Well, the Crows are one of the tribes that oppose the Sioux. The Sioux or the Sioux. That's our problem. But Black Elk is the Sioux. When I was a kid there was a song called Sioux City Sioux, which was on the popular charts, not Snoop Doggy Dogg. So we learned about Sioux City Sioux, and we knew who the Sioux were. One of my kids ended up marrying someone from Sioux City, so I always sing her that song. But she says I'm the only one in the country who's ever heard of that song, except people in Sioux City. But the Sioux were the tribe in the northern plains. That was one of the dominant forces, but they had their enemies because they were fighting each other. The Blackfeet, the Sioux, the Crow, they were all fighting each other. So the Crow were against the Sioux, and they helped Custer. They wanted the Sioux to be killed. So, you know, often these groups were fighting against each other. I don't want to hurt the Afro-American pride situation. I know how many of you feel, but you know that the slave trade could not have gone on with a good deal of cooperation from people inside Africa who were taking people to the coast. I mean, who were the people selling those people to the people on the coast to sell to the slave trade? You know, and that doesn't mean that the whole thing wasn't a corrupt situation, but there were different groups that were opposed to other groups that would then raid other groups that would then take their captives and take them down the coast. So, I mean, you know, the whole thing depends on a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of responsibility to go around in every direction. Some are more responsible, some are less. But given that we, the Wasichus, are more responsible, we accept responsibility. Try to do our best to help things out. Now, the present governor of California, as you know, doesn't think that we owe the Native Americans gambling casinos so that they can get rich. To my mind, since they've suffered enough, it seems to me if they want to get rich off gambling casinos, let them. On the other side of it, people say, well, they're not really the people who own them. They're actually mafia connected, and they're just little groups of people who are exploiting them and so on. So these are very complex issues. It isn't as clear cut as anything. In my own family, I have people say, what's wrong with you? Why don't you support the Native American casinos? And I say, well, I do in a way, but on the other side of it, I don't know who's running those Native American casinos. So it's all very complicated. So nothing is simple, but it seems to me that the Native Americans should be cut some slack by the rest of us. And the more slack we can cut them, we owe it to them for some of the things that they went through. So I've heard more than willing to cut slack to them, but you know, I'm just your teacher. I don't have any power. You guys have the power of the ballot box. Okay, So, when I was older, I learned what the fighting was about the winter the next summer. Up on the mountains, of course, the Mosquitos had found much of that yellow metal that they worship. And it makes them crazy.